And clearly, obviously, people don't do things for my pleasure. But, I took issue with what Seidel wrote in the paper yesterday. I take an immense issue with what Wojo put in the paper today. And it was published an hour ago. All right, look, I'll get into this. For Wojo to go down the list of players, going back to Max Boa being suspended in the Rose Bowl, to Keith Mumphrey, which is nothing to do with this, to even in the same article mention Connor Cook not being a captain as some form of prop for your agenda-driven article, trying to make your case about culture. Do me a favor, Bob. And listen, you guys don't know me personally. Bob knows me personally. I've had Bob in my home. I saw Bob last week for dinner. I like Bob personally, but this is professional. Just once, have the balls to take a stand, to go in the paper and take a stand. See, here's what Wojo did today. He decided to dip his toes in the water and said, it's too cold. And that's essentially what he's done forever.
Hey!
That's why everybody likes Bob, because he plays it safe. If you're going to insert Malik McDowell, who didn't do anything illegal, he just had an attitude, or Connor Cook, who I've never seen a smear job on a quarterback ever like that. Or you're going to mention Khalil Gaines transferring because he was about 15th on the depth chart. And then at the end, you go, well, none of these things are as serious as today's stuff, but, it bears mentioning. No, it doesn't. It is one of the saddest attempts ever to kind of prove a point, but not have the gumption to go all the way. If you want to say that D'Antonio's operated a toxic environment going back to the Rose Bowl, well, A, you're stupid, but B, have the balls to do it. He's intermingling 3 players on sexual assault charges with kids simply transferring because they want to play football somewhere else because they can't get on the field. And I don't care what little mealy-mouthed sentence he puts in there, what qualifier he puts in there. You did it, Bob. You did it. You mixed the names up. You knew what you were doing. And don't sit there and go, hey, I don't want to. Come on. You're better than that. No, Bob's better than that. I mean, it's just awful. And this, I'm not even going to play the card. Oh, well, he wouldn't do it to Michigan. I mean, that doesn't even bear talking about. Of course he wouldn't. And I don't use that it happens everywhere as a defense mechanism. I'm very unhappy with my football program. I'm unhappy. But they handled it the best they could. I'm not going to sit here and get on a podium and hand out a big blue ribbon for best in show for handling sexual assault investigation. Like you don't win awards for just doing what you're supposed to do. So don't take it that way. I'm not. But I really get a genuine sense that fans and some media are almost disappointed that MSU didn't go Baylor or didn't go Penn State and cover things up. Just last week, people went to jail at Penn State. At Baylor, it went all the way through the president and to the police and an entire coaching staff. MSU didn't do those things. And I am not sitting here telling you, oh, let's have a party because they simply, did their job. But Jesus, the way the media has behaved in this city, it's absolutely incredible to me. I've read articles from Seidel, from Wojo, from Chris Solari, from Graham Couch. Look, I don't think MSU needs friends in the media. But how many pieces crying about, well, they didn't give us the names in the spring game. They won't talk football. Why? So you can ask 80 questions for names to get released when they're protecting the integrity of an investigation? Once the investigation completed and charges were filed, you got your names. I think that's the way any decent human being would handle things. But Jesus, I gotta read in the newspapers today. Oh, well, D'Antonio presumably walked out the back door yesterday, not facing the media. It was a closed-door session due to privacy law. And second of all, you don't think D'Antonio and the board knew what was coming 24 hours later? But yet the article's still written. I'm sorry, it's not woe is me just to call it what it is. You want to bury the school, bury him. But let's be honest about it. I've never seen a school in a no-win situation. There are no winners in this. Not the young lady, not the players, not the program, not the university. There's no winners. But I've never seen a program in a no-win spot do things better and still get effing buried. Buried. By an entire media. Buried. All while there are things going on at the other school. Doesn't let my school off the hook. But geez, haven't seen a whole lot of Jordan Lewis in the paper. Haven't seen a whole lot of Grant Perry in the paper. Didn't see a whole lot of coverage on Gibbons. Doesn't let my guys off the hook. But Jesus, they did everything right. One guy didn't totally properly report it. Gone. 3 players, charges not even in the fold, indefinitely suspended. What do you want? Was D'Antonio supposed to line up a guillotine? Charges are out, players are out 10 minutes later. Names are out. Faces the media. You got Hollis on the podium breaking down in tears. And I got to read articles about sincerity? I don't know, man. A lot of you've always painted me the wrong way. You just paint me as a Spartan. Yeah, right, because I don't take my school to task. My school won't even talk to me. I'm just calling a spade here. Why is it so hard for one person to go, you know what? This situation sucks. But for once, in the cutthroat world of college football, State handled it the best they could. What's wrong with that? But I got to read about Connor Cook not being a captain? Shame on you, Bob. Shame on you. I just find it incredible. You want to knock D'Antonio? You want to say the program's on the ropes? You want to say the program's done? Fine with it. It's not worth getting upset over. You want to say we had a lousy year? We're never going to win the East again? Cool. I'll live with it. You want to say, hey, State's had a rotten offseason. A lot of kids got in trouble. Got to clean it up. I'm fine with that. But you start getting into business of why wasn't the meeting open to the public or, they should have had more compassion for the victim's family. What are you talking about? Oh, boy, Khalil Gaines left the program. What are you doing? You don't have to try that hard if you want to bury us. 248-539-9797. You're on the line. I apologize. I just had to get it off my chest. And listen, I don't know Seidel personally. I don't care to. Sure, he's a lovely writer. I just didn't like what he wrote. Wojo I know personally. That's different. That's why I spoke about Bob in different terms. Seidel's piece I just disagreed with. Had he waited 12 hours, he would have had the answers he wanted. Instead, he crucified MSU. And now the article yesterday, to me, looks ridiculous. But for Wojo, it's even worse because Wojo waited to write his until after the press conference. Honestly, Wojo's article looks like the equivalent of a circus clown. And to me, it shouldn't be that way. It just shouldn't. But one school's always gotten everything their way down here. And they don't wear green.